clearly, if you, as I said, you don't have to be a UK citizen to get a UK pension. So we will obviously, for the people who have put national insurance into our system, we would pay them a pension wherever they lived. So separation wouldn't affect that. But what happened post-separation would be a matter for the future.
Yes, post-separation going forward,
yeah.
I can see, yes, that the Scottish Government would have to then devise a pension system. I understand that.
Yeah.
If you are saying, as I think you are, which is something new, that if people have paid into the national insurance system, then they would, in a sense, inherit a payment from that national insurance system, that would actually presumably mean that the liabilities and assets would stay with the United Kingdom government rather than be divided.
No. I mean, that would clearly have to be a matter of negotiation because, of course, to give a simple example, someone's worked all their life in England, retires into Scotland, can you just assume that the continuing UK government will pay the whole cost of that pension? So there is a liability to pay a pension, or they have built up an entitlement, but the split of funding of that is for negotiation.
So the split of funding is only unclear in as much as who actually pays it.
Yeah.
It's not unclear as to what people would get.
Up to the period of separation, as I say, because you could retire to France, and we'd just pay you a pension. So where you end up isn't material because you've paid into the system.
Fine, because I think it is. I mean, people in Scotland will be anxious about whether or not their pensions are secure in the event of separation. I think that you are saying to us that their pensions will be secure because if they have paid in, then they will get out. The question of whether or not that comes from a separate Scotland or the remaining of the UK will have to be yet devised by a scheme as yet undetermined, but the individual can be secure in the knowledge that they will get their money.
So, so just to stress, I know you know this, but we're talking about state pensions only. I think the position of private pensions and public service pensions.
Yes, that's right. We're just sticking with
the
state
pension,
pensions.
People have built up a right wherever they retire to in respect of service for as long as they are paying into the UK national insurance system.
Right. Jim, and then Alan.
Well, I just wanted, I was going to pick up this point about where people retired to, but I think the Minister answered that with his reference to if you retire to France or Spain.
Yeah.
Can we just though clarify that when we're talking about the entitlement, that is to a state pension. The level of that state pension, though, is not predetermined, and that therefore somebody who is if they retired from England to Scotland, they would obviously get the pension, the state pension, as decided by the government here in Westminster. But if they were the chairman's Scottish pensioners who've earned their pension in Scotland, we must be clear, should we not, that the actual, although they might be entitled to a state pension, the level of that state pension would then be set by the Scottish government.
So my argument is that just as, for example, take a Scottish person who's paid in all their life and then retires to France or something like that, they still have an accumulated pension right in respect of the national insurance they have paid in when they were part of the United Kingdom. I think that's the key point.
But if they've stayed in Scotland, are they then entitled to the UK level of state pension, or the state pension, whatever it would be, as set by the new independent Scottish government?
So, inevitably with all these things, there's a bit of who knows exactly what would happen, but my presumption would be that because they paid into the UK national insurance system prior to separation, built up a set of, my lawyers always tell me not to call them rights, but a set of service which under our rules converts into a pension under the rules prevailing at the point they draw it, that bit is they've banked that because of their national insurance contributions to the UK system.